Oi, what's up? It's Demented, and I wanted to kind of do a updated Liquipedia dump. Although I've done two this week that I've already uploaded, I wanted to do more of a Contenders focused version, since there's a lot of moves that are being made in Contenders that I think are flying under the radar for the most part, and I think people still should be updated. So firstly, as a little side thing, I wanted to talk about this waddi pickup, because waddi moved to qara, and I was just looking at these results, and although these aren't really anything like super standoutish, it's still I guess kind of putting faith in the people over at qara to be making the right decisions, and I hope the best for them. And one more tiny thing that I wanted to touch on before we get into pretty much the contenders based segment is Onz's retirement. I was gonna wait for there to be more owl news to kind of like throw this into there, but I thought it would be better to make this kind of a small part of it, and kind of where that leaves the rest of the shock. So looking at the roster for shock, they're definitely not hurting in terms of DPS players, just because they lost Ons. Although losing your sniper specialist could be a really big, like, kind of blow to that IS kind of spot that you need in a roster. I have faith in the other people that they've picked up, being Glister, being Tayo, all those other people. They have a ton of different talent that is going to make up for what Ons brought. Maybe not at Onz's level, but they shouldn't be pretty much left for dead right now. But all in all, I really hope Ons gets better mentally. At least that was what his twitlonger was saying, that it was for mental reasons. And you can't hope at anything but the best for him. So before we dive into Korean contenders, I wanted to bring up the Odyssey roster changes. This has been mostly under the radar for a lot of reasons, in terms of whether people are leaving the org or if the org is, letting people go. And even though it still says Vulcan's on the roster, I don't expect that to last, assuming he's probably going to get laid off like the rest of everyone else. And out of all of these people that are, I guess, kind of getting laid off, there isn't exactly enough talent there that I can, like, 100% say I would back up any team picking them up. I wouldn't be surprised if they go to another team in contenders, or if maybe there's a problem with the org and then they just kind of flip the script like how Third Impact did, and just kind of rebrand as their own thing without an organization. Either way though, I think it's very interesting, and I don't think this is the last move from contenders teams in terms of dropping rosters or revamping rosters that we're going to see throughout this offseason. Next team that I want to get into is T1. In terms of where they've matched up in contenders overall in the past, I haven't seen really too much from them, but this is a completely revamped roster, and it's kind of thrown together a little bit, but I see a lot of potential here. So the reason I call this roster very mixed and put together is Zest and Catalyst are both from OZ Gaming. MN3 is from Element Mystic. Belarus, I'm not quite sure. I have to look at that in a second. Celestin and Krillin are from Spitfire, or older Spitfire. And Unique is from Team Diamond. So with that info, it's a kind of weird team that I still want to really look out for, with Qara and Roki being coaches, two of which I was kind of a fan of when they were playing in Owl. I'm really excited to especially see how their support line improves, but where I would pretty much put this team in terms of Korea Contenders overall is probably more towards the middle, but between middle upper and middle lower, as I've said before that I usually judge on. I think they might be able to go up in the pack a little bit, mostly because if you've been keeping up to date on things like Owl pickups, they've been scouting a lot of OZ gaming players, so that's going to be really good. You have your Overwatch League already like played in Overwatch League talent here. I'll have to go back and watch a few more VODs from the main tank, which is this guy. I don't even want to try to say his name. I've already messed it up like 13 times. But overall, if you're a T1 fan, I would be pretty excited for this roster. A unique Krillin backline could be really insane. Celestin is already Owl ready, kind of, I guess. So that's something you can look for in your off tank. And the DPS line, although I would need to look at them more overall and see what improvements could be made, I would definitely look out for this team. Now, my very last topic thing that I want to bring up is basically Dynasty, who has been making quite a bit of waves in Contenders for the past while, and I really think they stood out on Revival. I wasn't able to watch much of the Uprising Academy games, but I honestly wouldn't be surprised with this seemingly drop out of almost nowhere that they had been trialing for Owl teams and possibly even promoted to the Uprising. That would be more of my like hottest take from anything that I've been saying today. And looking at all of this, I think that's it. So if you enjoyed this Liquipedia dump, I try to do these every so often whenever enough news comes out about stuff on Liquipedia teams, whether it be Contenders, Owl, whatever. I'm going to try to cover it and give my 2 cents, give a little bit of background on some people. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe. Remember, I do these all the time, so please keep me up to date if you want me to go over even possibly like leaks and stuff in the comments below. I appreciate you all, and that's gonna do it for me. I will see you when I see you. Later.